It's always been a dream of mine to combine sailing and snow.
This is Kayleen. She loves sailing and is trying to convince me as well. Kira's not convinced, but Carl knows what's up. I lost both my feet, so obviously we called the boat Footloose. Welcome back to All About Spray.
This episode's a little bit different. It's going to be a short one because it's kind of a little bonus, as the next episode's going to be a little bit bigger and it's probably going to take me a little bit longer to edit. So the last 2 years I've attempted a snowboard sailing trip with a group of friends. Last year it was up Princess Louisa Inlet, and I've included a link to that video there if you haven't watched it. It was unsuccessful. This year we're attempting again, but a little bit further north in a different spot, and it was successful. I won't tell you any more now because there's going to be a whole episode about that. But for now, this is a little bit about the prep the week before the trip. I did lots of projects trying to get the boat ready, and here's some of them. First project. I finally am getting to a couple last minute things that shouldn't be last minute. I should have done a while ago. But one of them is replacing this fuse here that was in the reverse solenoid box for the Windlass, which stopped working last fall, and we went through all the connections and tightened some things up, but it still wasn't working. So a couple weeks ago I started poking around in here and found a lot of corrosion on some of the wirings, cleaned that all up, and then found that this fuse was actually like completely corroded in here, and it was completely rusted and stuck on there. So I ended up having to replace this whole fuse housing and rewired it in. So I'm really hoping that that's the answer to why the windlass wasn't working, and we're gonna now put it back together, and hopefully Brandon doesn't have to pull the anchor by hand for the next week. So yeah, let's see how it goes. Oh god. No, I'm gonna break it again. There we go. And then kind of a not so important project, but one we thought we better do before the start of the season, is changing the name. Wait, what? Oh, you thought it was Footloose? I have a confession to make. We've been lying to everyone, and our boat actually isn't named Footloose. Well, not yet. So, the boat's name was Amanda Leah when we bought it, which we kind of think sounds a little bit like a stripper's name. Anyways, sorry if there's any Amanda Leahs out there. Don't really like it for a boat, so we are changing it finally. I think maybe that's why we've been having bad luck with the engine. So Footloose is now actually becoming Footloose today.
Finally got some new decals made to rename the old girl, and it intrigues me to see everyone's got their ideas of what you have to do when you rename the boat. You absolutely have to do this and you have to do that, or else your boat's gonna sink. But I think what we're gonna go with is we're gonna drink a lot and maybe just have a little party.
I'm just on the day of the crew coming, and I left the grocery shop to the morning of so that all the food's fresh for a week, and I'm about to provision for the week with 4 people. And normally that wouldn't be that big a deal, but for some reason this seems like I made a meal plan and I'm getting a lot of food, so all our sponsorship money is basically going to food for the week. Let's do it. This trip to be at the end of March because the weather is a little bit more stable for sailing. We're going up inlets and fjords, which are can be a little bit dicey in the winter, especially for anchoring. And then we also want to make sure we don't go too late so there's still enough snow to travel on going uphill on our skins. So that's why we picked March. It does mean that it's the first big trip of the year, which is a little bit nerve-wracking, especially after sitting at the dock all winter. Before the trip, it was confirmed that Tyler is going to Italy for the Worlds for snowboarding, and he's competing in his first ever World Cup for snowboard racing. A little spoiler on that, he ended up winning gold, and I'm so proud of him. In the comments below, make sure you tell Ty how awesome he is, and make sure you watch for him next year at the Paralympics. But that all being said, it does mean that I'm going to be captaining the boat with the help of Brandon, who you've seen on our channel before lots. We're going today.
I don't know, I just drive the boat. Listen to what I'm told, go directions.
But it's a lot of pressure, especially for the first big trip of the year. My parents are joining as well on this trip, so we need to make sure that we go help them get their boat ready as well. So part of expedition planning is making sure that the crew and captain have enough booze. So our friends at Straight and Narrow just dropped off a whole bunch of gin drinks that are made locally here on Vancouver Island, and I've now got to find a spot to put them on the boat. So yeah, here we go. Still don't have the solar panels hooked up, but we do have a running engine, and the only thing really drawing heavy are lights and the refrigerator, so hopefully we'll do all right for the week. Next time on All About Spray.
A weekly cycle system is currently over North Vancouver Island. If a lake is obstructed, gales and storms or electric will continue over parts of the northern and offshore waters.
Oh, brother, I have tried, like a drop inside the ocean, but there's some karma on my ride. There's a place where I am going, it's out of my control, so I'm gonna coast for a little while. Oh, brother,
there's a leak in the rudder shaft, streaming in pretty good.
and my father, he couldn't be so nice.